Edson Arantes do Nascimento, later known to the world as Pelé, was born on October 23, 1940, in the small Brazilian town of Três Corações. His childhood was far from glamorous. Brazil was struggling economically, and Pelé grew up in poverty. His father, João Ramos do Nascimento, known as Dondinho, had once been a talented footballer whose career was cut short by injury. Despite their financial struggles, Dondinho became Pelé's first coach, mentor, and inspiration. As a young boy, Pelé didn't even have a proper football. He and his friends often played with a ball made of socks stuffed with newspaper or tied together with string. They would run barefoot through dusty streets, dreaming of stadiums and cheering crowds they had only heard about on the radio. Even at that young age, Pelé's talent was impossible to ignore. His balance, speed, and instinct for the game seemed almost supernatural. Pelé's family later moved to the city of Barefoot, where he continued playing football wherever he could, on the streets, in schoolyards, and with local youth teams. At just 15 years old, his extraordinary ability caught the attention of football scouts. A former Brazilian national team player named Valdemar de Brito saw something special in the teenager. He told Pelé's family that the boy would become the greatest football player in the world. With that belief, Pelé left home and joined the Santos FC Youth Academy. It was a huge step for a boy who had grown up with almost nothing. But the journey from the dusty streets of Brazil to the world stage had just begun. When Pelé joined Santos FC in 1956, he was only 15 years old. Many people doubted that such a young and skinny boy could compete with professional players. But Pelé quickly proved them wrong. During training sessions, his skill amazed teammates and coaches alike. He played with confidence far beyond his age. Just 1 year later, at 16, Pelé made his debut for the Santos first team and scored his very first goal. It didn't take long for the young striker to become a sensation. His ability to dribble past defenders, score from impossible angles, and read the game made him stand out in Brazilian football. By 1957, Pelé had already earned a spot on the Brazilian national team. In his very first international match, he scored a goal, becoming the youngest player ever to score for Brazil. Newspapers across the country began writing about the teenage prodigy who seemed destined for greatness. But the real moment that would introduce Pelé to the world was still ahead. In 1958, Brazil prepared for the FIFA World Cup in Sweden. Pelé was only 17 years old when he joined the squad. At first, he watched from the sidelines, recovering from an injury. Yet once he stepped onto the field, everything changed. In the knockout stage of the tournament, Pelé began scoring incredible goals. His creativity, composure, and fearless style stunned fans and opponents alike. Suddenly, the world realized that a new football legend had arrived. The 1958 World Cup final became the moment that transformed Pelé from a promising teenager into a global icon. Brazil faced Sweden in front of a massive crowd. Despite the pressure, the 17-year-old played with incredible calm and confidence. During the match, Pelé scored 2 unforgettable goals, helping Brazil win the World Cup for the first time in its history. After that victory, Pelé returned to Brazil as a national hero. The country celebrated him as a symbol of hope and pride. At Santos FC, he continued to dominate football with an extraordinary combination of skill, intelligence, and creativity. Stadiums filled with fans who came just to watch him play. Throughout the 1960s, Pelé helped Santos win numerous national and international titles, including the prestigious Copa Libertadores and Intercontinental Cup. His goals were often spectacular: bicycle kicks, powerful shots, delicate chips over goalkeepers. Every match seemed to produce another magical moment. Pelé's fame spread far beyond football. He became one of the first truly global sports superstars. Crowds gathered everywhere Santos traveled, and some matches were even paused by local authorities because too many people wanted to see Pelé play. However, success also brought challenges. Opponents often used aggressive tactics to stop him, and injuries became more common. Despite the physical battles on the field, Pelé continued to shine and remained the heart of Brazilian football. Yet his greatest achievement with the national team was still waiting in the years ahead. Pelé's career reached another legendary peak during the 1970 FIFA World Cup in Mexico. By this time, he was already famous around the world, but this tournament would confirm his status as the greatest footballer of his era. The Brazilian team played with a beautiful attacking style that many still consider the best football ever played. Pelé was the leader of that team. His vision, passing, and scoring ability made him the center of Brazil's attack. One of the most iconic moments came in the final against Italy. Pelé scored a powerful header, opening the scoring and setting the tone for Brazil's victory. The team eventually won 4-1, securing Brazil's third World Cup title. With that triumph, Pelé became the only player in history to win 3 World Cups. Fans, journalists, and fellow players began calling him the King of Football. His influence went beyond statistics and trophies. Pelé represented creativity, joy, and the spirit of the game. In 1974, Pelé announced his retirement from Santos after scoring over 1,000 goals in his career. However, football still needed him. A year later, he joined the New York Cosmos in the United States, helping popularize soccer in a country where the sport had little attention at the time. When Pelé finally retired from professional football in 1977, he left behind a legacy that seemed impossible to match. After retiring from football, Pelé remained one of the most respected figures in global sports. He became a football ambassador, traveling around the world to promote the game and inspire young players. Governments, organizations, and fans everywhere welcomed him as a symbol of excellence and sportsmanship. Pelé also worked with international charities and served as Brazil's Minister of Sports in the 1990s. During this time, he helped push for reforms aimed at improving transparency and fairness in Brazilian football. His influence extended far beyond the field. Over the decades, countless legendary players appeared in world football, yet Pelé's name continued to stand at the top of the sport's history. Many experts still consider him the greatest player of all time because of his incredible achievements, skill, and impact on the game. Even in his later years, Pelé remained active on social media and continued interacting with fans. He often shared messages about football, life, and perseverance, reminding the world where his journey had begun, in the dusty streets of Brazil with a homemade ball. Pelé passed away on December 29, 2022, but his legacy did not end there. His story continues to inspire millions of young athletes who dream of greatness. From a poor boy in Três Corações to the king of football, Pelé's life proved that talent, determination, and passion can change the world.